Good morning and welcome to the Daily Weather Operations Brief. This morning we are seeing some partly to mostly cloudy skies with our temperatures currently in the low 50s along with a light southwesterly winds, and we are going to be seeing those winds on the increase likely over the next few hours, and likely seeing a wind advisory come into effect as those gusts approach 25 knots or more. So that will be in the late morning and into the early afternoon, in which we'll then see those winds begin to diminish overnight. And for today, we are looking to remain dry with some very slight rain chances moving into the area in the form of light, very scattered showers, especially for areas more north of the Wallops area and areas that are off west of the Chesapeake Bay. Now, if we take a look at this morning's surface analysis chart here, we can see that high pressure is continuing to move offshore, and that is bringing in some warmer and more humid air, along with those southwesterly winds that high pressure is driving. We've seen those dew points steadily rising from the 20s earlier this morning into the upper 40s, and that's along with some increased cloud cover as we see an upper level disturbance move through the mid-Atlantic region early this morning, and we'll likely see those sky conditions improving as we move through the day as some drier air continues to erode the upper levels. And when we work through the day today, we'll also see a very slight chance of a light shower, as mentioned earlier, mainly across the Maryland Eastern Shore and areas west of the Chesapeake Bay. We do have dry air in the mid-levels that is making those showers, giving those showers a tough time to reach the surface. So if we did see any precipitation, it would likely be minimal. And for our temperatures, seeing those southwesterly winds push up our highs for the day into the upper 60s, along with those breezy conditions, likely seeing those gusts in excess of 25 knots as we move through the day today. As for our current weather observations, we do see a broken layer of clouds at 15,000 feet, consistent throughout much of the sky, and we do have unrestricted visibility with winds out of the southwest at about 10 knots and a temperature of 51 degrees with relative humidity sitting at 89% and trending downwards. And if we take a look at this morning's satellite imagery, we can see that broken layer aloft, and we'll continue to see those clouds streaming in overhead. Might see a slight reduction in the overall height or altitude of those clouds down to about 10,000 feet, but that will come into effect after we pass the midday mark. And if we take a look at a high-res model here, we can see that those showers are largely constrained to areas west and north of the area, leaving us dry for the day. So again, just those very slight chances. And for our 24-hour forecast ahead, seeing broken conditions now, expecting to see some slight clearing throughout the day, and then clouds building back in the early morning of tomorrow, similar to what we are seeing this morning. Temperatures for the day looking to climb into the upper 60s and then drop down into the mid 50s come tomorrow morning, with winds early today gusting and then ultimately dying down in the later hours and overnight hours of tonight. We'll see a good chance of a wind advisory again with those gusts above 25 knots likely, and we'll see those slight chances of showers earlier in the day as we move through the working hours, and those chances then diminish along with those winds as we move into tomorrow. For the short-term outlook, do have a little bit of color on the board here for Tuesday and Wednesday. On Tuesday, we can anticipate seeing partly to mostly cloudy conditions, and similar to what we are seeing today, some breezy conditions, along with a high of 73 as a result of southwesterly winds. Tuesday night, we'll see partly cloudy conditions and a low around 60. And then Wednesday, partly cloudy and slightly breezy, and another day with the highs in the mid-70s with some breezy conditions once again to follow, and continuing the trend as we move through the early portion of the week. Now that is going to conclude the daily weather operations brief. Be back at 10 o'clock with the 7-day outlook. Hope everyone has a great morning.